We start 13 News at 4 with breaking news. 4 people shot this afternoon on Indy's northeast side.
So police have taped off the area near East 38th Street and Emerson Ave, and we want to get straight to Karen Campbell, who's live at the scene.
Karen, I know you spoke with police. What have you learned?
Hey, Dustin and Felicia. Well, despite these freezing temperatures, officers have been out here at 35th and Wallace Avenue for hours. They've been collecting evidence, speaking with neighbors, trying to piece together how, what led up to the shooting today. Now, I want to show you what we know so far. They are focusing their investigation on the 4th house from this intersection, this olive green house. Officers have been going in and out of this home all afternoon since the shooting happened around 12:15. So here is what we know so far. One of the 4 men shot was pronounced dead. He was found inside of that home. A second man is in critical condition at a hospital right now. 2 others are listed in stable condition. Now, as I mentioned, they're focusing on a home. Some neighbors tell us that they believe this may have been the result of a robbery. Police have not yet confirmed that. We do know that while there is no motive yet, police are still working on that. They've been speaking with neighbors, asking people if they could check their security cameras to see if they can find the suspects responsible in this case. Take a listen to what police had to say.
We believe that one or more suspects ran from the scene on foot. Given that information, we're asking for people to look at their cameras, whether it be their doorbell cameras, surveillance cameras they had on their house, around that time frame, to see if they saw anything.
Yeah, and as you heard, police are asking people to check their surveillance cameras on their homes. That's just one small piece of this puzzle that police are working to put together to solve this case. They've also put out the number for Crime Stoppers, 262 tips. If anyone heard anything or saw anything at the time of the shooting. Again, 12:15 this afternoon, 35th and Wallace Avenue. 4 men shot. One of those men died, one in critical condition. 2 others are in stable condition. Dustin, Felicia.
Quick question for you. At one point this afternoon, Karen, police said anyone with information or with damage to their property from the gunfire should call police. How big of a crime scene are we talking here?
Yeah, Dustin, so the olive green house that we showed you earlier, that's about 4 houses from this intersection that we are standing at right now. So it is a rather large area that police have taped off. Now, I can show you this. If you take a look here, you see those 2 small yellow cones, evidence markers. Police tell us that there were multiple gunshots fired. We cannot confirm if these 2 yellow markers are indeed where they found shell casing. But again, just a representation of 2 evidence markers. Again, police are they've been out here for hours, since 12:15, so a very large, I would say, crime scene this afternoon here at 35th and Wallace Avenue.
All right, Karen Campbell reporting there, where we have learned that 4 people were shot this afternoon on Indy's northeast side. We'll let you get back to working that scene. Let us know if you have any more information. We will stay with Karen.
All right, now to this Arctic blast. We're all feeling it outside.
Yes.
It's a weather impact day, for sure.
That's because these cold temperatures are here and snow to our south. Sean Ash is tracking everything from our weather center live tonight.
Yeah, and look, here's the deal. We're going to miss the heavy snow. It doesn't mean we're going to miss all of the snow, and even a light snow on the surface temps that we're going to have the next couple of days. We're going to have some road impacts at times. So stay with us here. I have a fresh blog up on WTHR.com. You can check it out. And we're going to talk some of this as well. We're at 17 here in Indy at this hour. Our average high is in the lower 40s. Just to put this into perspective, wind chills remain in the single digits, and they're going to be a problem as we go into your morning commute. Rush hour, no problems. We're in good shape. We had a little light snow last night, early this morning, south of I-74. And south of 70 tomorrow morning, we're going to be on the lookout for some more snow here. A visible satellite with radar, just a little cloud cover coming in. Okay, I want to show you future track 13 and show you this snow that we're talking about. It's going to be a real close call whether it makes it into Marion County, but it will be close enough that bears watching. But Terre Haute, Greencastle, Bloomington, Columbus, Seymour, and Bedford, you will be slick tomorrow morning. Probably going to have close to an inch of snow there in Bloomington and Columbus, and a coating is possible here over Indianapolis. We'll talk about the next wave coming in tomorrow afternoon, and a warm-up in the 7-day in a few minutes.
All right, thank you so much, Sean. And the Mooresville High School senior charged with planning a mass shooting at her school will remain behind bars.
At least for now, while a judge decides bail. Rich and I was at the courthouse early this morning for a bail review hearing. What'd you learn, Rich?
Well, Shockley was in the courtroom today, but her only words to the judge were to identify herself as Trinity Shockley. She stared down at the defense table in front of her for most of the hearing, showing no emotional reaction to the evidence that was presented. This is 18-year-old Trinity Shockley leaving the Morgan County Courthouse after that hearing this morning. The prosecution asked for a $500,000 surety bond plus a $250,000 cash bond for Shockley. The prosecution presented evidence of Shockley's plans for the shooting and her infatuation with mass shooters. Her public defender argued that the allegations of Shockley's plans and threats are all words. The defense said this case should follow much lower standard bond. Shockley faces charges of conspiracy to commit murder and intimidation with the threat to commit terrorism for the alleged plot at her school.
We presented evidence with Mooresville Police Department with the help of other outside law enforcement agencies that we believe she's a threat to the community. So we asked for a very high property surety bond as well as a cash bond. And then if she is able to post bond, we asked for additional conditions regarding having her on home detention with GPS monitoring and mental health treatment.
The judge took bail under advisement. The judge will review the evidence, including a more than 1 hour long video of Shockley's police interview when she was arrested. And the judge is expected to issue a ruling on bail sometime later this week.
All right, Rich and I reporting this afternoon. Thank you.
Also today, Metro Police are searching for the driver who hit and killed a woman downtown this morning and then took off. It happened just before 8 near Michigan and Illinois. Our Lauren Kostick is on this story today. She learned the victim was walking across the street on her way to her office when she was hit. This afternoon, investigators are working with witnesses to try and track down the driver.
And if you are involved in something like this, you need to remain at the scene. It's just not worth fleeing and hoping that you're going to get away with it, because our detectives will find you and we will hold you accountable for your actions.
Lauren will join us coming up on 13 News at 5 for a closer look at what happened and what the city is doing to prevent these deadly accidents from happening. To Madison County now, and big changes coming to about a dozen fire departments, half dozen fire departments there. They'll soon be merging into one. We're talking about Adams Township, Stony Creek Township, Marklettville, LaPel, and Ingalls. Last night, those communities voted to merge with the South Madison Fire Territory starting next year. Now, these are rural areas, small towns that have been mostly served by volunteers. They told me the merger will eventually result in 4 stations with 80 full-time paid firefighters. We're seeing more mergers like this in rural areas really across the country right now. Smaller volunteer departments facing an increase in the number of calls, but a drop in the number of volunteers available to respond. We first told you about this nationwide problem last summer. The National Fire Protection Association says it's largely due to increased time demands, tougher training requirements, and an increase in the number of 2-income families whose members simply don't have time to volunteer.
Today's society, we got so many things going on, and to give back to that community spirit of providing a service for free is tough to get to.
So the solution more often now is to pool resources. It's also really expensive for that equipment, including all of the uniforms, the safety equipment, the fire trucks as well. The merger of those Madison County fire territories is set to begin next January.
Lawmakers in the House passed a bill today that would ban transgender women from playing on women's college sports teams here in Indiana. 13 News State House reporter Emily Longnecker is here with the vote and the debate. Emily?
House Bill 1041 passed out of the House today by a vote of 71 to 25. The debate today was not that long. The debate around 1041 leading up to today's vote has been much longer. Supporters of this bill say it's about protecting women in sports. Those against it say it's about politics. 1041 bans transgender women from playing on a women's team here in Indiana. The NCAA recently announced it was reversing its policy that allowed trans women to play on women's teams at the collegiate level. now banning it. The move came just after President Trump signed an executive order calling for federal funding to be withheld from any universities that let trans women compete on women's college sports teams. Last year, the head of the NCAA testified before Congress, saying there were less than 10 transgender college athletes among the 500,000 college athletes across the country. Those against 1041 say it's not about protecting women's sports.
This bill is instead about the national political winds and rhetoric that pushes us further and further from one another. Let me ask you this: where was the concern for fairness in girls' sports when Indiana schools struggled to fund them? Where was the concern for female athletes when their teams got secondhand equipment and boys got the best? Where was the outrage when girls' sports programs were cut altogether due to budget shortfalls? If we truly cared about fairness, we'd be debating bills to invest in girls' sports.
Those who support the bill say it's about protecting women from injury.
Think about the biological differences in strength and speed, lung capacity, all that's been talked about over the years. As you get older into the college level, it's even more dramatic. It's even more dangerous. Not because it's willing violence, it's because it's just a physical difference. We have to protect our girls. I have young female athletes. It just hits too close to home. I want to protect them.
1041 now heads to the Senate, where the committee process and the debate over this bill starts all over again. At the Indiana State House, Emily Longnecker, 13 News.